Good morning. Welcome to the Spiritual View. Hi, I'm Angie, and I'm from Learn Love Tarot. So thank you for being here today for Motivational Monday. Wow. Okay. Awaken. Big energy already starting us off here with compassion on that left-hand side. This is what is coming in, and this is what we are giving out. So as I was meditating on our read today, I was asking for the best and highest messages today, of course, for the highest good, and to help those that are in an awakening state, to help them on their path, bringing in these messages. So that you may increase your personal vibration and therefore collectively as a planet. So seeing mirrored souls, we had a 10 and a 1, which was an 11. And then we also had a 21 mirrored souls here coming in, and 35 of 8, walk your truth. And today actually is a life path 8 day, the path of vulnerability. And that does require surrendering, right? That 31 for energy. Being vulnerable here is required, especially as it relates to anything to do with mirrored souls, whether we are seeing ourselves reflected in someone else, or we are learning how to balance those halves, those yin and yang halves of ourselves. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. How can the collective best enjoy today? We have enjoyment everywhere. We had the moon entering Taurus this morning at 1:55 a.m. here Eastern Standard Time, which does add up to an 11 here, which we saw with the first split. Okay, and then this life path of vulnerability. If you add the digits to your own birth date, keep adding until you get to a single digit. If you are also an 8, then you are life path 8. That is this card of strength with its sister card of, so that's Leo, sister card of the star being the sister sign to Leo, which would be Aquarius. Okay, so star energy and strength energy. So again, merging parts of ourselves where we've had to tame our own inner lion. And when we do that, and another person does as well, those souls can then merge together. And we are seeing right here at the center there, that Nautilus energy of past life connection. And it's really interesting me here. So this card 8 of choices, Leo energy. See how this is like they're connecting in, right? It's like tuning in. And it's like one person that was already started on this journey. The second person is now making a different choice. So how can we best enjoy today? Choosing something different than we've always chosen before. Okay. And then we did have 3:33 this morning, Mercury moving into Gemini. So that is learning on fleek. So maybe the second person, this is when they're awakening. We saw that one card, right? It's when they're awakening, okay, because they are making a different choice here. And again, that's just a gorgeous, gorgeous energy there. Reminds me of my belly dancing gear with, from my belly dancing days. She has a beautiful hip scarf on there with a gorgeous skirt. And I'm getting a figure 8 pattern here, reflecting back between this choices and the sacred journey card. Okay, so if someone is making a different choice, part of merging with deep soul connection. A lot of us do go on a sacred journey, and that may be like even a dark night of the soul. But see how that passion is grounding here, this energy of that first root chakra. And then these are the roots, right? Like this is reminding me of the tree of life, which is Pentacles energy. So enjoyment everywhere is kind of our theme of the day. Pentacles, Pentacles everywhere. That is time, energy, money, resources, talents. Okay, maybe that's why that's coming in. So the Pentacles energy, especially the Pentacles energy, is the connectedness to many things, right? Because it's such a diverse energy. It's the most deeply rooted energy, and it is the energy of the 3D, okay? Anchoring from the past and grounding into the future. Okay, and it's also a 26 card. That number might be relevant for you. 2 and a 6 is 8. So indeed, we have a frequency vibrating there. Now, under the card of Ace of Wands, we do have the moon in Taurus squaring Pluto this morning at 5:04 a.m., a 9 card, which is a hermit energy. So divine feminines, especially, we can feel like kind of fueled up or fired up. So we want to watch for kind of, a patience card came underneath it, which is why I'm saying it's interesting. And it's the only card that is not brightly colored here. It's blacks, whites, and grays. So maybe there is a need to have patience and not seeing something as so black and white, allowing for this gray area, allowing for other colors to come in. That can even feel like an aggressive energy towards either our masculine side of ourself. We can be sick and tired of being sick and tired with ourselves for not taking action regarding something, with me focusing here on the Queen of Wands in that column. Excuse me, I say Queen of Wands. That was a Freudian slip. So that is Aries energy. That's fiery energy. And in shadow, that energy can be a little impetuous, right? Leaping before looking, and, devil may care kind of attitude, only out for the self and not for what's good for the whole. So I'm going to be clarifying there what communication may only add fuel to the fire. It might even be partner energy or a boss energy, especially if you're feeling, if it's an oppressive feeling kind of relationship. Just watch for, we got a lot of fiery, we got a lot of root energy today, and it might be like uncontrollable, and it might be even something that's not attached to this. It might be something buried deeply here in the past. Okay. Now, when I am looking here at this fourth card, it's my Ace of Cups column for today. And that is a focus on the new moon in Gemini. It's at 16 degrees 17. That will be a 6-day, which is High Priestess energy. And she's kind of, going within here. And if this is something buried from the past, maybe you're tapping into that power and it's bubbling up from the surface. So I'm going to be asking the opposite of, if the staves, if the wands add fuel to the fire, how can the heart, how can the cups come in? What communication, what key communication will help work out the details of a new beginning? Because new moons are all about new beginnings. And we do see all of that blue at the top with this throat chakra energy of communication. So this could be messages coming back from the past. This could be communicating a new choice that has kind of been buried deep at the root and not yet been voiced. Okay. And maybe we've been tolerating something for a while here, and it just comes, it's threatening to kind of come bursting out. Now, under our Ace of Pentacles column, to honor this moon moving into Taurus this morning at that 11 energy, a sense of justice. How can we best enjoy today? Which is, having that patience here to understand that sometimes when we get really annoyed with somebody, Dr. Phil used to say his dad told him that, if you get annoyed with somebody, it may be something to look at yourself. And he would say, there's something about you I don't like about me. Sorry, Dr. Phil. That was not a great impression, but you get my drift. There's something about you that I don't, it's internal. And this could even be ancestral wounds that, they're carried at a cellular level. They do alter DNA, trauma does. So we will look at that as I go ahead and lay out the spread here. Now, with the Ace of Swords information or column, my question was, what is the collective learning? Because Mercury and Gemini in its home place, it's very comfortable here. It's exalted. So what, it's learning on fleek. It's like learning on steroids. So what is the collective learning that's now making it easier or more tolerable for them to be open to change? And then we have the choices card. So this can even be, we realize it's not black and white thinking. There's actually a third choice, maybe a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, or an eighth choice. Okay. We're not limited to those, this or that. And these choices here, this 21 card is a 3. So it's not this or that. There can be a third choice here. And that realization, that aha moment of the Ace of Swords energy could be what is now connecting us or getting us started on this sacred journey. And with this patience energy, their eyes are closed here. The one person that's initiating also has their eyes closed. And the second person's energy is opening. Okay, they're opening their eyes. And we do see that third eye being lit up here. It's like somebody's coming online. So one person was already ahead of the game, and the other person is just now coming online, it looks like. Okay, guys, let's see where this goes. I want to try to be mindful of my time. And then we have that 31 surrender. Oh, look at that. There's that tree of life, timeout. And then we've got our awaken card back underneath that. That timeout card is 32. That's change. What change is now being more easily tolerated by the collective because it has now awoken them to yet another choice, because we are surrendering to this sacred journey. That's beautiful. Okay. If I remember, I have time. If not, I'll type it in the details. But we will be looking at the energies of June 3rd, 2024. However, whenever you read this message or hear this message, energy is cyclical. So there's something in here for you, or something that you hear you may pass on to somebody else, because I do realize a lot of you guys are enlightened and you are either already awake or are waking up. Okay, so this may help somebody else as well. All right, guys, let's see where we go here. I'm going to be using, because we do have Mercury in Gemini, I'm going to go to my Liz Houston deck, which is this is my deep deck. It goes beneath the surface. Okay, there's an 8 of Swords energy on the bottom here, a little bit of stinking thinking. And there are 2 ships in the harbor. Alexa off. 2 ships in the harbor. So this could be stagnating or putting a deep soul connection kind of, it's anchored down and it's not moving. But we do see the second person starting to move the energy based off of this first person having the patience to understand there's more than just these 2 choices. Okay, so let's see here where we go. Let's see where we go. Collective best enjoy today. How can the collective best enjoy today? Flowers there on that left-hand side coming in and an offer moving out. On that right-hand side, the pentacles, how can we best enjoy today? And I was asking that on the Ace of Pentacles. So, all right. I feel like I was going to start shuffling and I heard no. So we're going to go right from the top. Okay. So how can you best enjoy today? You're taking swift action towards some kind of communication. And that makes sense with Mercury moving into Gemini today. So maybe you are now speaking this aha moment. You're having the patience to now communicate kind of what's been welled up deep inside, perhaps. And this is a very fast energy there. Now, the star energy of the life path 8s is vulnerability. Yes, something deep inside that you're now willing to communicate openly is choice. Okay, choices. There are many puzzle pieces to life. And I love this rendition of Temperance because I feel like this really gets to the heart of what temperance is. Temperance is a lot of work. This is not an easy energy to work through because it's about finding the pieces so that we can find peace, right? And it's like this, if this is your energy here, I am pulling on our collective here for the spiritual viewers. It's like you've got this one last piece of information, or you're seeing now that there's a different choice to find this piece. This is spirit here helping you heal your heart. And maybe through this mirrored soul connection, you've seen the pieces of yourself that you do and do not like, are yin and yang. We have to accept those dark shadows of our psyche and learn that they are information for us. They're the pieces that we put ourselves back together with and heal ourselves so that we can find peace. I also did say this second energy is behind this first energy. Okay, so now this energy is helping this person. Okay, and this character is also has a fishnet kind of here as a dress. She's also entirely missing her head. So this is communication here that is in the 5D. This is of a very high spiritual significance here. And then we have our 8 of Strength card, having the strength to see and understand and have a different perspective of if we're not with our person, if we're missing a person, that we are never apart. If that is a deep spiritual connection between you and another person, that is ongoing. Okay. Even if we don't feel it or see them in the 3D, once we awaken, it's felt. It is felt. It's there. Okay. And there is a certain calm and a peace coming toward that. Now, what learning is the collective doing that's helping them be more open toward change and tolerative of that? Is that I understand that I can't want another person to do something, right? But by being the example of finding my own pieces, I am then sharing that energy with that person of healing. they feel the shift and then also find the strength to start healing their own selves, because it's a mirrored soul. Okay? It's a mirrored soul, which has taken great patience. I mean, a sacred journey is very, it can be circular. We can get stuck. We can go around in those endless circular patterns. And it's like someone is making their way out of it by finally, all that blue energy, by finally surrendering. There's a lot of this communication, this blue chakra energy in the environment here, which makes sense because it's up in the sky. It is up in the sky. All right, so this is the situation of healing, of repairing. What is the opportunity here from having this patience? The opportunity is understanding that it's the key to our own wish fulfillment, okay? Another person isn't our wish fulfillment, okay? We may feel like that, but our wish fulfillment is unlocked by us finding those keys, okay? And where did I draw a key today? I drew a key. I didn't even think about it, but I remember doing it. Oopies. Right there. What communication will help work out details? What key communication will help us work out the details? Okay, we got it. So this is what we're having the patience to find the key for. And then we'll see what that block is too, that might block communication. In the recent past, there's our strength card, our card of the day, the path of vulnerability. This is her surrendering to that constrictor around her, right? She's not fighting it, because the minute that she starts fighting that energy, we actually slow down our healing process, not only of ourselves, but that of a mirrored soul we feel connected to, okay? So not only are we slowing down our own process, we slow down theirs as well if we fight that. Now, this new energy, this new egg is just recently cracked open. So, just recently, why you're moving so quickly now is because you have surrendered. It is in the environmental energy here. And look at that too. This is a balsamic moon. This is the crescendo right before we hit that new moon, which is on Thursday. We're still in the waning stage. We won't quite hit balsamic until around Wednesday. But we're close here. This could have even been at the last new moon, since we are looking at past energies. That wanted to jump up. Okay, how can we best enjoy today? There's the 10 of Pentacles I was talking about. The 10 of Pentacles has the 10 of Cups encompassed within it. So in this rendition, it's very interesting. If you can see, there is a very small figure climbing up out of an old dress. Okay, so climbing up out of ourselves. This is the heart of the reading. The choices. I am not stuck here. I am not stuck between one or two. I have many options. Many options. And this card always reminds me of the dandelions that you blow to make your wish, which would be connected to our sister card, the star card energy. And within every single one of those pentacles is indeed a star. You're realizing here, this learning is that I have more than just the choices that are right in front of me. I can create a whole new choice. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles is someone is in that card with you. Okay, but first we've got to climb up out of this old self, these old beliefs, these old ideals. Okay, in the near future here, what is this energy of the Nine of Cups? Is the key unlocking something here? Wow. The key, we climb up out of this old life. We're ending a pattern here. This is a big card. So the fact that we have the sun and the moon and the earth opposing each other, we see up on top of her head the divine feminine and divine masculine energies coming together. They almost look like chess pieces, and it's like her brain is opening to reveal this cosmic connection, the merging of our own yin and yang. And there's a big star there on her chest. And this is all just FYI. You cannot see any details on any of these body parts. It's like a mannequin, which is so dang silly, but that's what it is. She's standing on the world and she's understanding the connectedness of many things. See how every single thing in the cosmos is one little jump to another. So much like our birth charts, right? These are forming angles, they're forming trines, they're forming direct paths, okay? And we do have Jupiter making a direct connection to Pluto energy. I think it's for almost 2 weeks. And that's a flowing energy, some kind of a 180. Pluto disrupts its transformation, and this kind of change that we're stepping up out of and into something new, it goes very, very quickly. And with Jupiter in Gemini also, it's a little bit of effort goes a long way. So that's why this feels so fast. A little bit of patience goes a long way. A little bit of work on our psyches, on the shadow aspects of our own psyches and our patterns that have been subconscious to now. We see them and we're stepping up out of them. Okay. Major Arcana book ending here with Major Arcana up at the top. So that would be action, divine masculine energy, and pointing right to this choice card, this 8 of choice. Okay, so the major arcanas are trining. That is beautiful, beautiful energy here. Okay, let's get a look at blocks from the past and blocks that could potentially kind of come back to rear their head, perhaps even communication that would add fuel to the fire with the moon squaring Pluto today. Okay, so with the block being the creatrix, that's the magician in this deck. There are also 3 energies there, and I just went like this, right? You can see her hands. Okay, she is forming that air, that sword, that masculine energy. And right above that, the triangle point faces down, divine feminine energy. Okay, so in the reverse, that magician energy can be kind of, smoke and mirrors, all hat, no cattle, promises without follow through, someone talking a good game, or even ourselves talking a good game to our own selves, and then just not following through on what we need to do. In the upright, the energy of the water there is very, very calm. Okay. But in reverse, that would mean that our own energy inside, right, is not calm. And this could be here. There's a second set of hands that I've never noticed that are holding on to the prism. Okay, it looks just like this. Okay, Thank you, Christine, for this really, really cool crystal with layers of all the energies. And it does have that nautilus right in the center there. It's so cool. So that's what is facing down. And then she is reaching up and taking action, putting action towards that divine energy. Okay. And then all aces of the magician, of course, are potential new starts. All the four aces that I'm pulling on with specific questions today. So with it just being here, don't panic because it's in the reverse position. That means that energy is here. Okay. And it's been a block, and it can also still be a block in the future, but it's up to us to balance our own selves, right? And then take action on what it is that we're creating, and could be very ancient, right? Tapping in. And when we wake up, we're tapping into the knowledge that we are connected deeply and deeply rooted to many things. Can you see that face? The ancestors there, the base of the root. And at the top, I haven't noticed this before either, before looking at it in camera. Looks like there's someone sitting here. And that's just me kind of scrying. I don't think that was intentional. See how they're sitting and holding on to their power, onto their creative energy. This potentially could be even angel wings over here. And we're understanding that we have guides that guide us to this connectedness, okay, within. Beautiful, beautiful reading so far today, collective. You vibing high. You vibing high. Okay, this choices energy. So the situation is this healing, this balance, stepping out of old self. What does spirit want us to know about that? There's the hermit energy. Okay, this self-examination. See that mirror reflection. There's something about you I don't like about me. And then we do see this flame here. And she is kind of having on this violet dress. And to me, that especially with the flame is being held by spirit or by the mirrored image of ourselves. Okay. And if this is 5D conversation and you're the one being healed by your divine counterpart, they're offering you this flame. They're saying by going inside into that third eye, pulling behind the bridge of the nose, accessing that violet flame, that's our intuition. It is a physical space within every single brain. Okay, so it is there, but it's a muscle. We have to, if we don't use it, we lose it. So we have to keep our connection with spirit open. So the hermit additionally does carry the lantern containing the star. So we get to the star by having the strength to make new choices and focusing on putting ourselves back together, not the other person. So she's unlocking this within herself, right? This love, this 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. But first, it's going to require us to step out of that old shadow self and requiring self-reflection here. And we had under the column of Mercury moving into Gemini at 333, 369. Hermit is the 9 card. Temperance is a 14. 1 and 4 are 5. Change. Yeah, again, it's all repeating here. So major, major. What is the outcome energy? Major. Wow, this is a lot of major arcana. So this is interesting because we have this energy of patience. understand we're unlocking something within ourselves, ending an old behavior, thought pattern, what we viewed even our Ten of Pentacles ultimate happiness with someone, other person that's in there with us. Reevaluating what that is, okay, by going within. And then what communication will only add fuel to the fire with that Moon and Taurus squaring Pluto at 5:04 a.m. Again, the 9 energy. We have the devil, okay? And if you can see Persephone's face here, it's understanding that she's 6 months with Hades and she's 6 months here on the earthly plane. She ain't sad about it. She ain't mad. She's giggling, and he's very, very sexy. Those red wings, okay, this sacred journey, this choice, this red energy kind of generating, combining with bright pink of that star chakra of the 5th dimension. So the outcome is understanding within our own self what these fears and obstacles have been, having the strength to surrender. That's the ultimate test of strength, because we want to control everything, right? We want to assert our independence, especially if we're feeling oppressed, okay? You want to get up out of there. But there's a way to do that that comes from a place of power and not out of fear. The devil energy is a lot about fear. It can also, in the light aspect, mean success and prosperity in a new endeavor, even with career, okay? So being under the Ace of Wands, that action, okay? We're taking action to look at both aspects of ourselves, shadow and light. Our shadow selves inform us that, hey, you got a violet flame in there to access. We've got to peel back these deeper parts of our psyche. And yes, they're still part of us. They're always going to be there. But when we're aware of them and where they come from, where they generated, we're working our way towards peace, because that's yet another puzzle piece that we've discovered by choosing to focus our energy on our own selves. Okay, I like to look at the diagonals here. Unlocking this wish fulfillment within ourselves leads to a 10 of Pentacles. Okay, you have to climb out of ourself. So that energy can go either way, right? It can go this way and it can go that way, depending on how we're using. Are we taking advantage of that new potential, or are we letting it slip through our fingers? This is harnessing the potentials, okay, of the universe that are there, those universal energies, that sacred geometry. It's using it. But if we don't use it, right, it can ping over here to this fear. And maybe before we weren't able to unlock that potential because we weren't ready to yet look at self and do that healing work. That just to us was not a choice. It was either this person does this or else I do that. Okay. How about we open and unlock our own potential first? Okay. And a lot of times they have a way of just working out. Sacred journey much? So here in the future, this mirrored soul, seeing and understanding, this is what we're to do. We're taking action with haste towards climbing out of this old life, understanding the devil's still here to teach us. Okay, it's a lesson. It's still here for our favor. And if we get scared of this devil card, or we think we don't have a devil, then that's our devil, right? Being closed off to what our contribution to this is. All right, let's see what else here. I'm going to add at 6 cards out, 6 of Wands for the final outcome here. There's that justice energy of how to best enjoy today. Enjoyment is everywhere. Balance of self, justice, Libra energy, balancing that south node of karma and stepping out of old patterns into this new energy. And this always on our round table for the spiritual view. This was my full card that I chose to speak on, and I love it because it reminds me of that wishing stage of the dandelion. And that's what the whole entire reading's about, guys. This is the heart of the read, to get our wish, to have this new beginning, and this is a later stage of life kind of new journey. This is evaluating suitors of the past, potentials of the future, or whether we just want to jump off this particular chessboard and maybe we're ready for a new game, right? Maybe a whole new chessboard entirely. We do have that Black Moon Lilith heightening her activity this week. So that's the table flipper. Maybe she's flipping the chessboard, knocking all the pieces over. And that's what she feels, will balance this and bring justice. Just starting John Lennon's Starting Over song. Okay. Why don't we take off alone? Okay, now this devil book ending here. The energy is she's holding a sand timer. Okay, and she's has 1 foot in today, but her feet are planted here. And there's a tributary of the water, right? The waters that lead off of the main, yes, waters that lead off of the main path. A different choice, another option. Time is of the essence here. This is 8 of Cups, choosing to walk away from 8 broken cups so that you can move towards this 9th cup. Okay. The fear is that we're either going to miss this little tributary. We're going to kind of stay in that main water always. This could be fear of taking this leap, this new path. Right? Those old demons. She's smiling because maybe it's just the easier thing to do sometimes. Like, even though this merry-go-round of nonsense is not fun when it's the same ending to the same story every single time, because it's the same flipping book, right? We've got to pick up a new book, and maybe you're writing an entirely new chapter. And up here, I've never really thought about it this way before on this card, but this fuel to take a tributary. Look at that. Instead of staying stuck in this body of water, we're following a tributary out to many, many, many pentacles. And I said, this is like enjoying the many, many pentacles everywhere. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Is that from Wizard of Oz? It is connected to passion. This fire, this spark to just do something different. Capricorn, Aquarius, 6 of Wands, victory after a long battle over these spheres, guys. So the red energy, that heavy rootedness I was feeling before, now still understanding that's going to be there always. But then this whole other half of her dress is now turning white. Okay. Very yin yang of balance. And now new hands. Okay, the red of the past here has a mask and a keyhole coming out of the mask. I've never noticed that before. Wow. Okay. And then also on that red side of her dress is a book. So the reference to it's the same book. It's the same book, guys. It's gonna have the same ending. Okay. Now this new white, it's like constantly, putting out fires, constantly putting out fires of this red energy. Okay. The devil's always gonna sit on our shoulder. That fear is always going to be there. But how can we tamp out those fires ourselves and calm ourselves? And now with this new energy side, there's kind of a shadow face profile looking to the future. And it's kind of an egg calling back to that strength card. I've never seen it as an egg before. I am today. And then another, so a hand is holding a heart, and another hand, so there's 4 arms, is holding a sword of truth, the truth of your heart. Okay, we're stepping out of this past mask, this past book, this energy that's still always going to be there. You can pick up that book anytime you want to read it. But how many times I got to read it? Well, especially if it wasn't the greatest book. If we've already learned the lesson, it's time to go. It's time to go. Surrender. The Fool is all about surrendering to this new journey. And then how appropriate we end with King of Pentacles energy. Again, Capricorn on the diagonal. This is, fixed earth, leadership, money, success after a long battle, battling these insides, okay, putting our own selves back together first, okay, bring us to this king energy of I did it, okay, I did it. That is very tangible. This is getting to a place of retirement. They're the most mature king and queen of the 4. They are, have had the most life experiences. And that white dress, Persephone is in, for 6 months there and 6 months here. And then we have, this is always going to be a part of us, right? This red is just kind of muting away as she's deciding, well, let me go to this right-hand side, if you're seeing it from my view, of this new clean slate. This is exciting. I'm excited. I mean, right underneath the Fool. In the past, you may have had a tendency to want to stay in the comfort of that, in the comfort of that big dress. It's taking up like half of the image here, right in the middle. And there's a pathway as well, that as soon as she climbs up out of her old self, she can get right back on path to this new way. Always remembering that other part of herself, but without having this knowledge, without being able to see her shadow aspects of herself, she would have never been able to understand anything about the flame. I will be the flame. 21 and a 3, 21 and a 21. This is surrendering. Yeah, absolutely surrender in this strength. Taming the beast within. Using that potential now, taking You got to take action, understanding the potential. All that sits there within our own personal Amazon, right? We've, we've got to take action toward that and reach up into it to access it. And we can only do that. See how she's floating there above the water? She's in control of her emotions and she rises above rather than being, held down by them, having them above her, having them swallow her and engulf her. This is fast. This is very quick energy. Okay, so what key communication will help work out the details of a new beginning? I feel like I want to, because I've never seen that in this card before, I want to look up this Houston Dex Justice. She always has such a unique perspective on the major arcana. So let's see what she has to say here. Weighing properties in order to gain a sense of balance and equilibrium. The figure of justice stands suspended in the sky, taking in a vast perspective with far greater reach than mere mortals can comprehend. She is clothed in equal parts of red and white, symbols of heart and mind, illustrating the gravity of both when weighing matters of importance. In her hand, she holds the tools of deliberation, a book of wisdom, a human heart, and a knife for discernment. Her remaining hand touches the fingers of an unseen someone, representing the capacity for justice to either liberate or constrain. So by unlocking our own heart and potential, we then send that energy at a subconscious level, psychically, okay, astral travel, however you want to see that, we then send that same energy or vibrational frequency. From her head, butterflies, golden symbols of the soul emerge. Get all these golden butterflies as cups with the cups. Representing the need for order, the policeman at her feet attempts to contain these forces of chaos with little success, suggesting that imposition of order without justice is futile. Yeah, you just can't tamp down those fiery bits, right? You can't ignore them. It takes one little spark to set that off, right? The age-old quandary of how and when to temper justice with mercy results in no easy formula. Enigmatic in her workings, but straightforward in her rulings, justice holds a variety of necessary tensions as she deliberates and issues verdicts. In her blindness and indeed lack of expression, she is the picture of fairness and impartiality, seeking only to maintain and restore balance. Two sides, maybe that black and white thinking, it is or it isn't. We're just trying to get to the main issue. She is far from the ground, relating to no one and nothing other than herself and whatever is placed in her hands. In her removal from the norms of human life, she is able to remain detached from entanglements of human grudges, drama, and opinions that so easily cloud our judgments, the pieces of the puzzle. It is difficult for us from our limited perspectives and in our subjective minds and hearts to acknowledge the full truth. Justice, in many ways, is an ideal we strive for, not a perfect reality. To grossly understate it, it is not always properly served, but that does not make it any less worthy of pursuit. With the corresponding number 11, our very first two cards on the split, 10 and 1. Even the Justice's card's position in the major arcana is one of balance, with the 10 cards behind it and 10 in front of it. Wow, okay. We know that for every action, there is a reaction. And we could even say that in the Justice card, we see the law of cause and effect seeking balance. However, the notion of karma in traditional spiritual modalities is more complicated than what most have come here to believe. In traditional viewpoints, there is personal karma and non-personal or environmental karma. Not everything that befalls us is a direct result of our actions, and sometimes we are called to deal with the karma of those we care about. When we get right with each other, when all parties are treated fairly, when we pursue justice on behalf of others, we can let go of the heavy weights of debt and disconnection. Our karmic debts can come back into a sense of harmony, and we can breathe more freely again. So at the beginning of the reading, I was talking, about generational trauma and how that is stored in our bodies at a cellular level. It alternates the DNA of the person being carried or being connected to that bloodline. So justice appears as a harmonizing force in your query, lending the ability to look honestly and impartially at a promising a fair and balanced outcome in the end. It may or may not be the outcome you desire, but it will be one that is just. Justice could appear when you need to be held accountable for your actions, a welcome thing if you have acted fairly and with integrity, a not so welcome thing if we have not. Although we may resist paying the piper for our actions, sometimes the greatest beneficiary of our judgments will be us in the form of growth and wisdom gained. Above all, when this card appears in your spread, it is a sign that the right decision has been made. Never have I ever read one of the major arcana cards from a deck out loud, but I think we see why now, with so many, especially that Gemini energy being so strong. These are all the planets that were already in Gemini, guys. So we already had a stellium here, and now with this communication coming into it, okay, this wanting to learn, these new aha moments that are so prevalent, and we still have this dualistic energy, okay? They're still going to feel that devil and lovers, Leo and Aquarius, strength and the star. Whatever one lacks, the other one has, and vice versa. What a beautiful reading for you today. Okay, let's go ahead and just quickly look at the environmental energy. I'm going to see what this Ace of Pentacles is all about. We'll get advice, and we'll get you out of here for your Motivational Monday. I love Marsha's Motivational Mondays. They always feel so good. And I will be connecting. She has got her channel up and running. So I'll be connecting that channel address to the description box so we can all go there and make sure we are supportive of her. Of course, Marsha is also one of the co-hosts on The View. Our next gathering, our next roundtable discussion will be June 21st, and that is my birthday. Hang on, it went. There we go. I was like, that doesn't look right. Ooh, interesting. And I'm seeing this world energy kind of point down towards the devil and the fool. World and Fool, all in the same side of the spread. I told you it was fast. 6 of Wands. Wow. Okay. Very, again, 8 of Cups, half of, she's grounded, but the white side, the heart sees that she needs to move on to her own victory and self-sufficiency here. Okay. It is going to take some strategy, and there is going to have to be a decision here, possibly even by the full moon, this culminating here, the full moon in Capricorn, that earth energy. Moving quickly towards this self-healing stepping out of an old life, willing to take the tributary because we've done the work inside of looking and examining that shadow, taking a leap of faith, but that's using strategy this time around and not based on fear or lack. That will indeed kick up a victory for us, and could even be financially lucrative here. Okay, I'll leave it alone. All right. All right, environmental energy here, 6 cards from the bottom. Ace of Pentacles, what is the offer? The Lovers, stop it. Environmental energy, Queen of Swords. So now we have a knight. There's some kind of a time out being spoken, possibly by a cardinal heir, which would be Libra. Okay. Gemini, the Lovers, what's happening right now. Ace of Pentacles, whatever is flowering, the sacred journey toward truth and moving forward in that truth. Okay. 9 of Swords here, which would be the recent past before, and the energy before the Ace of Pentacles. The thing about the 9 of Swords in this, there's a burden across her lap. We could have felt somebody else was weighing us down, right? But when they actually stop focusing on the weight and actually look what's right in front of them and let go of the fear here, a lot of fear in a 9 of Swords. This is actually a map of how to exit the prison. You might have to go. In case this is a person here, situation is a lover situation. We have that mirrored souls. This is a sacred journey. It's on pause possibly here because there's another person also working towards their truth. All right, center is the Sun, the happiness card, the happiest card in the deck. There are also 2 people in that card, and there's that white energy of surrender. Okay. Near future, this person will have a decision to make here, and we see that the dark side of the moon is on the left. So this is after the new moon, working up towards the light of the full moon, wax on. So after Thursday, that moon starts waxing crescent. Now, whoever this Queen of Swords is, they could, again, that's that dualistic Gemini, second guess, or this is your masculine part of your own self. Okay, needing to pull opportunity to take a time out and pull in on the feminine of our own truth. So however you want to read that, past energies that could block in the past or the near future. Could also be the energy of this person. We have fire and fire. Both of these, King of Wands and the Sun, are Leo energies, Libra, Gemini. In the reverse position as a block, that is impulsive, and we did talk about that within the shadow of the Aries energy. Okay, so make sure that we're not just rushing towards something because, I see it, I want it, it's mine. make sure it is based on, you know, what would truly make us happy and not something we feel impulsive towards because it scares us or we've been held back by it. Okay. It was merely a map out of our own deeply embedded self. Spirit wants you to know, or wants this person to know, or what's your other half of your own self within to know that Seven of Pentacles, this lovers and sun energy is not quite ripe yet. There still is a little bit of waiting time. And we want to make sure with that music box dancer there that we are not, again, just going through and repeating patterns there. It's just we're waiting for a different tune or waiting to be wound up in some way. Finally, someone opens the music box. Finally, someone winds us. Finally, the crops are ready to pick. There is the Jupiter energy here because she has 4-leaf clovers on her belt on the belt of her dress, and she is in all green. It could be regarding the heart. This music box, as it opens up her head there, which we saw in the world energy, the world successfully ending a repetitive cycle of do 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 do. And I just heard a circus theme. Do, 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 do. Hopefully that's not in a music box. And if that was the music box of the past, this new crop is a beautiful song that brings the ultimate happiness and brings union of the divine and divine together. Empress energy here and the outcome of Queen of Swords. So this truth and not, staying willfully blind to whatever this is that truly makes you happy, puts us in the Empress energy. That's followed by the King of Cups, and not only the King of Cups, but the Queen of Cups. Wow, Empress, there's our 8 of Swords from the very beginning. Do not get stuck here. There's those lovers that are right here as the situation. Surrender. You're keeping your own self stuck here. That is a choice. The swords are masculine action. Okay. Ace of Swords, the truth. So this could be a King of Cups coming towards you to share their truth. They're walking away from something else to do so. Queen of Cups is balancing here with the 6 of Pentacles. Perhaps this person wasn't sure who to give to before, and now they are wanting to give to you, or maybe by balancing your own self, raising your own personal vibration. Again, you awaken these mirrored souls, King and Queens of Cups. You both love each other. One awakens the other. Mic drop. Requiring a leap of faith here towards this new pentacle, this Knight of Pentacles. There's the Queen of Pentacles on the opposite side of this. Raising your vibration usually brings choice. Whatever that is, stand your ground, even if it's a tower. Okay. All right. Let's get our last card of advice here. Restore and replenish on the bottom, 38 card and 11. All right. Advice from the collective here. Okay, 22 energy. We were talking about 11s, and there's 2 11s, the 22. She feels, she knows. Okay, she feels, she knows. Climbing out of the past that maybe left us a little bruised and battered. Okay, having the patience to unpluck and heal and examine all the pieces to find our peace. 36, listening for truth. So again, that's a 9, which we had the 9 energy of the hermit with the fuel, communication that adds fuel to the fire. Make sure that it is a good fire and, not kind of opening mouth, insert foot kind of fire. And then the 3339, what change is the collective now learning to be more open toward, or that it's more easily tolerable? And there's those eggs and the Nautilus again. Communication. It's beautiful. Mercury moving into Gemini, 333, 36. Those are both 9s. Can't make it up. Wow. Just wow. Wow, 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 guys. So 9 and 9, and then the new beginning of communication that will help work out the communication that will help work out the details of a new beginning, to the path of notoriety. High Priestess, the 2 card. There's 2 2s. She knows. She feels, she knows. High Priestess energy, new moon. Beautiful. It's at 16 degrees, 17 minutes, wherever that is in your chart. 16 degrees, 17 minutes of Gemini. That is where you could be having this new start and you're getting communication. There's some kind of a key, either from your higher self or someone else. It's the path of notoriety, and that is also a 6. Okay, June is the 6th month, Gemini energy. 16 degrees, 17, that's a 78. Ah, okay. 8 and 7 is 15. The devil. It's sister energy. The Lovers on the other side of the energy. Communication about a victory, possibly with a Lover situation. Your awakening and healing brings about their healing and awakening. All right, guys, thank you so much. What you want wants you. The 16 card. And wow. That's just crazy. And look again, the Nautilus, the pearls of wisdom connected to the past. What you want wants you. The hearts felt are equal. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that's it. Love you guys, and I will see you next time. Please join us on Friday the 21st for our next Spiritual View Roundtable. And until then, bye-bye, and much love from me to you.